Hey guys, we're so excited to have you on board. Having a low credit score we know can be very stressful, so we want to help you get your score up and repair it quickly and legally. Click the link below so that we can schedule a free consultation. Hey guys, what's up? It's your girl Serena Mann, aka the Credit Doctor of VA, and we are back again for another episode of Wealthy Wednesday, where our whole goal is to give you access to tools and resources to be holistically wealthy. We want to help you bring your mind, your body, your spirit, and your finances into alignment so that you can be the best version of you. So we are so excited today, guys, because we're going to be talking about something that a lot of people are struggling with, and our mission is to break those chains of financial bondage. And how are we going to do it? We're going to do it through education, because you can't do any better than what you know. But then we're going to give you some great tips so you can put it into application and you'll be able to conquer. All right. So back a few weeks ago on another Wealthy Wednesday, we had talked about how financially everybody has two objectives, okay? Two things they want to accomplish. However, there are four obstacles that are standing in their way and hindering them from meeting their objectives. And one of those obstacles is what we're going to be talking about today. We refer to it as the ball and chain, okay? It's heavy, it's oppressing. It makes you stressed out. It makes you feel like, health-wise, you're tired. You don't feel energetic. You don't feel like you really have much options. Okay? That's what debt can do to you. All right? And so today we're going to break it down. So the first question is, how much debt is too much debt? And the answer to that question is, if you feel like I just mentioned a second ago, like overwhelmed or anxious when it comes to talking about your money or even sitting down and going through everything, that might be a sign that you have too much going on, too much debt, because many people don't feel good to sit down and want to pay bills. It's a blessing when you're in a position that you can pay your bills, and not dealing with it definitely won't help you get to the place where you can manage it better, So that's one of the things. If you get overwhelmed easily when it comes to, your money and stuff, you might have too much debt. How do you calculate your debt to income ratio? DTI. They use that word all the time. And basically, this is how you calculate your debt to income ratio, okay? So you're going to add up all of your debt for the month that is fixed debt, such as your car notes, mortgages, or your rent, child support payments, loans, any kind of thing where it's going to report on your credit, it stays the same, or even if it doesn't report on your credit, it's like a continuous ongoing payment. It's a reoccurring payment. You're going to have to pay for it indefinitely. It's going to keep going and going and going. If you have a loan, you want to include those for the period of time that you have that loan for. If it's for a year or if it's for, 60 months, put it all in there. All right. And once you're able to pay that item off, then you go back and you reconfigure your debt to income ratio. So this is not something that will stay the same forever. It will fluctuate depending on the amount of debt that you're taking on. So once you've added up all of your expenses, you're going to take your gross monthly income. So that's your amount of income that is before you get taxed, okay? The part before you get taxed. So don't look at the after tax part. That's your net. We're not looking at that. We're looking at the part before any taxes are taken out. And you're going to take your debt and you're going to divide it by your income. So for instance, let's say you have $3,000 a month in bills, loans and recurring payments that you have to make. You're going to take that, and let's say you have $5,000 in income. You're going to take $3,000 and divide it into 5,000, and it's going to give you 0.60. Okay. Then you take 0.60, you multiply it by 100, and it's going to give you the percent, and it's going to say 60%. So if you make $5,000 a month and you have $3,000 in bills, you have a 60% debt to income ratio, and normally that's considered to be high. A lender a lot of times wants to see a person that is under 50%. Under 50%. 35% is optimal, and if you can get lower than that, then you're in a very, very good place with your DTI. The next thing is, how does your debt affect your credit? Now, we've talked about this as well in other videos for Wealthy Wednesday. What are the 5 things that affect your credit score? And believe it or not, your debt, your utilization, the amount owed, these are all the terms you will hear associated with this when it comes to your credit, is 30% of how your score is calculated. Okay, it's the next largest item next to the payment history. Just your payment history and your debt owed or amount owed or utilization comes up to 65% of your overall credit score. So it impacts your credit tremendously. If you do not use your credit cards properly and you carry a lot of balance on it in regards to the amount of limit you have, then that can make your score low. Even if you pay your bill on time every month, you can still have a low credit score if you have too much debt on your credit. Now, how do we distinguish debt? That would be the next thing we want to know, because a debt can be identified in different ways. There's good debts and there's also bad debts. So let's just put that out there. A debt can be something that's good. Now, when we talk about debt, it's something that you owe to a creditor, an amount of money for something that you're financing that you didn't have the cash to outright pay for yourself. Okay. So with that being said, when you have a debt on something like a car note, oftentimes that's not going to be a good debt, because you don't normally have any equity inside of a car. You know, let's say if you have debt with a mortgage and you have $40,000 to $50,000, $60,000 of equity that's inside of that mortgage, well, then that's a good debt, because it brings something valuable to the table that can help you in other aspects of your financial house. All right. What are the signs that, you just have too much debt? And as we mentioned earlier, if you feel like you cannot manage your stuff on your own, and you don't even know right now what your expenses are, and before you get paid, you already know that your check is gone, you probably have too much debt. The best way to really determine it is to sit down, okay, and write out all of your expenses and all of your income. And we talked about that in a previous video as well, when we gave you some tips on creating an effective spending plan. However, if you're new to this and it's overwhelming you to the point that you just wish you had someone that could help you, know that that's why we are here. We are a holistic financial education company, and we would love the opportunity to give you a free consultation. Call us today at 1-844-2-UP-FICO, and we can go through everything, the process of getting it set up for you, and then you can go ahead and get started. So don't feel like you have to do this alone, because you don't have to. All this stuff can be done. You just have to take one deep breath and understand that you eat an elephant bite by bite. So you take your first bite, you eat it, swallow it, and then you take your next one. And we'll be here to help you along the way. So again, if you guys want to take advantage of a free consultation, give us a call or visit our website, okay? And we'll be more than happy to help you get started with the process. Because like we always tell you guys, you got to go out here and make something happen. Moves do not make themselves. Talk is cheap and life is expensive. So what are you going to do? Peace. Hey guys, we're so excited to have you on board. Having a low credit score we know can be very stressful. So we want to help you get your score up and repair it quickly and legally. Click the link below so that we can schedule a free consultation.